Pure joy. Pure joy. Pure joy.
Alrighty, here we are once again in the Joy Lounge with PJ PureJoy Belanger. I am your host for the PJ's Pure Joy podcast. I first off, of course, want to welcome my guest in just a minute, but you all need to know about my amazing sponsors. I am sponsored by Americans for Prosperity, who helps the community in a nonpartisan way have a voice in the legislation process and speak up on issues and policies that really affect your family. And so you'll want to look into that. There's a lot of petitions going on right now that need to be signed to protect our, our energy, to protect our economics, to protect our prosperity, our freedoms, and, to protect our education system and things like that. So Americans for Prosperity. Then also Bisley app. Bisley app is an amazing, incredible app. You put it on your phone. Any entrepreneur, any business would have every piece of software they ever need to do anything all in one place for pennies on the dollar. It's like $17,000 worth of software all in one place. So it's pretty incredible. Bislyapp.com/PJ. Make sure you check that out. And Remon is the Korean skincare line that has really taken the market by storm. It's an incredible, fun way to reverse aging. So now let's get to our really important guest here. We've got Trenton Brisco in the house. Woohoo! Hey. And Trenton Brisco is with Nevada Youth Advocate Program. National Youth Advocate Program. We're not just Nevada.
That's right.
National Youth Advocacy Program, but Advocate Program. But what's it doesn't really describe is that he himself is a foster parent, and he helps recruit foster parents.
Exactly.
Is that right?
Yep, that's what
so
I do.
Tell us about National Youth Advocate.
National Youth Advocate Program is a foster care agency across the nation. What they do is they go where it's needed most, and they get themselves in there and they push hard, and that's what we're doing here in Las Vegas. They came in about 4 years ago, and I came in a year and a half ago, and we had 4 homes when I came in, and now we are at 21, and we have 8 or 9 on hold waiting to get approved.
Wow. So let me see if I understood you
hard.
correctly. 4 years ago, there was only 4 foster care homes through your organization.
Yes, here
and now
in town.
now there's 21.
Yes.
With 8 more coming on board.
Yes.
Or effectively
eight
getting approved.
8 ready to be approved. We just have to wait for the system to catch up.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And they go through quite a process of background check and all that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So how long does that process take?
Well, that's kind of a different situation. It's a different beast. If I were to take you and say, hey, let's get you processed, right? I could get you through all the training and you get all your paperwork done. We get everything, the home study, everything done. We can have it done in about a month and a half to 2 months, right? Then we hand it into the Department of Family Services, and we wait. And sometimes the wait is longer because the line is longer at that moment, So if they're behind as far as our homes go, that's what happens. And it's unfortunate when there's a lot of kids in there, but they have to do their due diligence, and they have to look through each home and make sure they're ready to go, to move forward.
Right.
So.
And I'm sure there's a lot of different variables that could maybe extend that time as well.
Yeah. You could look at someone's questionnaire and say, okay, well, this is we need to look into this a little further.
Right.
But at the same time, it would be nice if they say, hey, you know what? There's a line of 8 families. Let's pull somebody from this department and get this done, because there are a lot of kids in Child Haven.
Efficiency would be great in these programs. Absolutely.
But yeah.
We can't really generally expect that with our government processes, unfortunately.
Yeah. But they're doing their best for what they have, and I get it, but it just sometimes in an ideal world, while there's kids sitting in Child Haven, for those who don't know, Child Haven is like the little Mecca community center that they hold the children when they have been taken from homes, removed, and then we find them a foster home to go to, and they stay there until then.
were days where we thought we wouldn't make it out, but we stuck it out. Today's our day. Today's our day. There were nights we would fight, no wind in sight, nothing was right. Tonight's our night. Tonight's our night. I'll fight for you until this life is over. There's no giving up here.
So two questions off the top of my head right now I'm thinking of is, number one is, what is the goal for how many homes is needed?
Well, the goal is that we don't need the homes at all. The goal
wouldn't that be
is
great?
that we stop it before it begins. However, we're not there, right? So we need to make sure that we have enough homes to not have any children in child haven. But I couldn't give you that answer because we're always getting children in child haven, and we're always losing foster homes. Not us, just our society. We lose them and we gain them.
Right.
So it's, obviously the more the better, right?
How many children are in child haven generally at any given time?
Generally, I'll just tell you this, the capacity is 80. There's usually more than that in there.
Wow.
Any given time. Usually. So there's been times where they haven't been, which is great, but usually there's more. So.
And is it an open area, or how do they
Child
keep
haven,
these kids in this place?
Gosh, I hate to get into this with child haven, but it needs an update.
Yes.
It's parked right next door to the juvenile detention center, so there's barbed wire. The playground sees barbed wire.
Oh.
There are bungalows.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, there are bungalows that they go to, and a little playground. And then there's a basketball court indoor that they can all go to as a class or as a group. They go out in groups. They split their siblings up. They go into, by age group and boy, girl. And it kind of stinks because, you're not with your siblings during that time. And to just get pulled into foster care and be split from them, especially if you're the older one and you've always taken care of your younger siblings. So there's that. And then
very stressful for an older child.
Yeah. And also, what about for a younger child to be taken away from home, or not taken, removed, and then put in this circumstance? You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes the word taken is very fitting.
Well, we've been trained to say things a little bit differently these days. So,
well, as you know, I grew up in foster care 11 years.
Yep.
And so I know the good, bad, and the ugly. And unfortunately, that's just how humanity is. And that's going to be in any category of life. But let me ask you right now, how many foster children are you taking care of?
I currently have 5.
5.
Along with my daughter, too. Yeah, single man.
So you've got 6 kids in your home right now.
I have 6 children at home.
Wow. There were 6 of us that I grew up with.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It has its moments, of course. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that it's a piece of cake.
Right.
But compared to what people make it out to be, it's a piece of cake, if you think about it, right? I just acquired 2 kids that were in child haven for a whole year. Nobody wanted them. They were autistic. If you looked at them on paper, it was tough, right? All they needed was a new environment. All they needed was somebody that didn't push them and just gave them hope,
understanding,
a life, so
wow, a year they were in child.
Yeah, I kept seeing their names on the list because me working for the agency, I'm able to see the list of kids that have been there for a long time. We as an agency like to try to get those kids out.
Sure.
So we go to our homes and go, look, there's these kids that have been in there a long time. Do you guys want these guys? And we try.
How about will you please
take?
take?
Unfortunately, there are circumstances that some families don't know if they could deal with because of their past.
Right.
So we try to fit. We don't just give you kids. We try to fit the right ones.
Right.
And then I saw these kids, like, it was a couple months I saw them on there, and I just couldn't. I was just like, I got to take them. And I
Are
was
they
nervous.
siblings?
Yeah.
They're siblings.
Yeah.
How, can you tell me their age? Can you tell
I
how old they are?
prefer
You
not
can-
to.
Okay, I'm just really curious.
I'll just say that
tell
they
me
are
the age
elementary
range.
age.
Yeah. So all
elementary
6 of your
age.
kids are in elementary school.
All of them except one is junior high. So,
Junior high.
yeah.
Interesting. So that's quite a lot of work. So you're
yeah.
helping with their homework. You're helping.
For the
You're
most
preparing
part,
all their meals.
yeah, I do everything. I just started getting like a babysitter that comes in and helps out, but it's only a couple days a week, if that.
Wonderful.
But I'm gonna try that a little more
should
because
do
I
a
need
little-
more me time. So,
Yes, you got to
yeah.
make sure that your self-care is prioritized.
Yeah,
Absolutely. You got to have a little prayer time.
yeah. But you know, I used to do it before. I fostered a long time ago, and then I wasn't fostering while I was working for the agency, and then I just kept getting asked, "Do you foster?" And I was like, "Well, I used to," and they often would say, "Well, why don't you anymore?" And I was like, "All right, well, I'm gonna have to do it because I'm over here trying to get you to foster, and I gotta practice what I preach. So
Yeah.
I show people I can do it.
Yes.
So it makes people more like, oh, well, if he could do it."
Do you
know?
have access to respite care? Does the state
Yeah,
of Nevada
yeah.
offer like somebody to come
and
in
our,
and help?
our own agency does it as well.
Oh.
And yes, we get I have an ABA therapist that comes over for the autism children. We have workers, we have therapists.
Are you allowed to do like health protocols? I know that a lot as a nutritionist myself, and as someone who's been battling autoimmune diseases myself, but I'm also been raising kids for nearly 40 years myself. I have a 37-year-old daughter. She just happy birthday, my Brianna. Her birthday was Valentine's Day. I told her the other day when we went out to lunch, oh my gosh, I have a daughter pushing 40. That's crazy. But at any rate, nearly 40 years I've been raising kids and grandkids. I know that nutrition is a huge factor. So are you allowed to implement nutritional programs for these
Well,
kids?
it depends on how you say it. If it's supplements, that's probably
like a detox.
doctor only.
Like,
The
autism
doctor.
kids have a lot of gut issues.
I 100% understand what you're saying, but unfortunately, I don't think we're there yet. I think doctors have to approve everything.
Yeah.
And most of the time, the stuff I know, I have knowledge
Yeah.
of, the doctors will
Right.
not approve.
Well, doctors, only get about 2.5 hours of nutritional training, and it's an elective.
Oh, makes
And
sense.
25%, only like 25% of our schools for doctors, training centers for doctors, are even offering it.
Well,
When nutrition is the basis of all health, it's really crazy. It's unfortunate that Pharmacia is running our. So these, I was drugged as a child on Ritalin for years.
yeah.
Do you see a lot of that stuff?
Well, a lot of kids are put on medications. I personally don't like them. I try to get them off of them, but I
Oh,
don't
that's so good to
always.
hear.
I don't always have full say to do
Right.
so.
Right.
But what I do is I make a deal with the kid, like, hey, let's work on this. Let's get off of these. Let's show
Yes.
them that I can do this and this, and we'll wean you off, and then prove to them.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad
And
to hear that.
I try my
Trenton.
best, but
That's wonderful. I have documentation from several different ministries and medical, both, showing that behavioral strategies work better than the medicines do. And positive reinforcement. Yes, that's so good to
no,
hear. That.
absolutely. It's all about that. Like, change the environment, change the way you do things, and the medicine's not always needed. I will say, you remember, I've had about 47 children come to my house.
47 children. Wow.
I will say there was a couple kids that I would say, yes, you need medicine.
Sure.
And when I weaned them off, I was wrong. Put them back on.
Wow.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it happens.
But I found out later in life that they're still in need of it, and they're adults. So
Wow,
maybe
yeah.
sometimes there are things wrong with some people that you can't control. But sometimes we just throw a medicine on it, like a
Right.
Band-Aid,
Right.
and think that's it.
Right.
And that's the part I try to stay away from. So.
Right, because a lot of times it's just a broken child that needs a different way to be dealt with.
Yeah.
That can correct a behavioral issue.
Yeah.
And especially like in my case, so a smart broken child. It was very difficult for people to figure out how to deal with, but they just didn't know how to find the behavioral aspects of tweaking, what to tweak,
Yeah.
and the behavioral aspect to not have to drug me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why we look for quality foster homes, so that the people can give the child a quality life, so that they aren't in need of medication. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. We do a training. I help do the training as well because I live it. So I want them to understand what you're going to see and go through, how you can speak to children in foster care differently than you would speak to your normal children. They say, oh no, foster kids are just like everybody. No, they're not. I'm sorry. They're not. They come from a different walk of life.
Right.
They come from a very traumatized life.
Right.
They come from, and then when they're in foster care, they go from home to home sometimes, and they're treated differently in a sense where they feel like they're being told what to do, like they're being the slaves of
Right.
the house.
Yep.
And so you have to watch out. You have to be careful. Like I don't give chores to my kids, and I teach my foster homes not to. People say that's not cool. That they need to learn. No. Don't get me wrong. My kids work in my house.
Right.
But I find a way to make them do it without me telling them to do it. I
Right.
tell them to respect your house, respect yourself, respect your neighbors, respect your friends, respect the dog. So if the messy table afterwards, I just go, man, that table's not being respected, guys. And if I continuously do that, they know, oh, shoot, we better clean the table. The other night, they cleaned their room without me telling them.
Wonderful.
And they don't have chores. So what does that say? It's just a matter of repetition of doing stuff like that.
Right.
Another one is they want to feel heard, but sometimes you have to control that herd, right? So what I often do is, like, for example, if I asked you if you'd like to go to McDonald's, Panda Express, or sushi, what would you like?
Personally,
I'm
Panda
asking you.
Express. What was the third one? Panda Express, sushi, or what?
We'll say Burger King.
I would choose sushi out
Okay.
of those three.
All right. Now you had the choice, right? You
Yes.
made this choice, right?
Yes.
You did not. You did not make the choice. You know why?
Why?
Because I'm the one that came up with what you choose from.
You're right.
So
Perceived choice.
you felt like you made the choice. So if I say to you, we're going to these three places, you feel empowered.
Right.
But if I ask you where you want to go and you say sushi and I go, nah, I don't want to go to sushi, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
you're
it's
upset
Frustrating.
because I wanted to go there. But if I give you the three choices, now every once in a while you get the real smart kid and he's like, what about my choice? You know, but most of the time it works. And I always tell people too, with the little ones, put out 3 outfits for them. Ask them which one they're going to wear. Don't fight with them about it. You're still in control. They feel like they have the power because
Right.
they made a choice. Give them the choice, but you carry the choices. So that's something that works. And I try to teach them, give the kids a voice when they come in your house. Ask them what they like. Ask them what they want to do. Don't make them feel like this is my house, this is my rules.
Right.
It's just not going to work.
Yeah,
You're going to lose them
authoritarian-
like that.
I learned very hard the hard way that authoritarianism is not effective.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, authoritarian creates a very hostile relationship.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. So do you get to stay in touch with any of these kids?
I do. A lot of the kids that have come through my house, we're still friends, like on Facebook, and we every once in a while they'll reach out and catch up with me. Every once in a while they act like they call me dad. Every once in a while want to get together and act like we're, but then they vanish for months and years.
Yeah.
I just go with it. Whatever they need me, I'll be there for them. I've had one kid. He was 17 when I had him, and I was a little bit shocked because I never really spoke to him that much. I mean, I did, but he just was quiet, did his thing. He ran away, and I had him for 5 months. He emailed me last year, and it was right when I started working here for fostering. He emailed me and said, "Hey, I just want you to know that." And when I saw the email, I was like, "Oh gosh, what does he want?" You know, he wants money, a job, right?
Right.
And I felt so bad because the first thing he said was he wanted to thank me because I'm the only father figure that he's ever had. And if it wasn't for me, he wouldn't be who he is today, being a good dad, having a good job, and he's got 2 kids.
I love that.
I just got teary-eyed. I couldn't believe it. And the reason why more is that he was a kid that I thought I didn't do anything for.
Right. You didn't know your effect.
So imagine what the other ones, you know. So
Right.
it made me feel good. And now I use that story when I meet foster homes and I meet people. I often tell people, look, man, I didn't do this at first, but I'm realizing it more and more. You're not fostering just to help a kid.
Right.
You are so helping yourself more than you even know.
Well, it affects society as a
Yeah,
whole.
well,
It
that
affects
too.
the community.
That too, but for yourself to be able to give a child something and see them succeed and see, it's one thing that like you have your own kid and you see them succeed. It's a no-brainer. It's your kid, right? Yeah, of course they're going to succeed. It's my kid. But when it's someone else's kid who's been traumatized, who's gone through stuff that you can see what they've been through.
It's important to use the words rejection and abandonment.
Yes. big
That's what
time.
these kids are really dealing with. And those are spiritually deep-rooted issues for them. If we don't help them work through those, then we did not have a positive effect.
Right.
So we're going to wrap this up. Trenton, please tell people how to get in touch with you and give everybody in our audience a call to action. How they can help, what you feel the community can do.
Well, you know, at the end of the day, I'd love everybody to be a foster home. But
Can you open your home?
I understand that that's not the case, and that's okay. I do an event called Nights of the Round Table. It's a once-a-month event. It's a business mixer. It's bringing community together. We talk about what everyone does, but we tie in how foster care is a part of it. And if you could just come to one of those and bring someone, and maybe along that ride, someone that comes from your circle will eventually be in our circle.
Right.
And we'll eventually have a foster home. If I can get one foster home in a month that's quality, I'm happy.
Wonderful.
So
how do they get in touch
and
with you?
you can go to TrentonBrisco.com, or also my Instagram is TrentonBrisco. And on my website, you can actually see all my events. I also do a film mixer every month because I like bringing community together for film. I am going to be in pre-production soon for a film. The locals are putting money together to make this happen. I'm pretty excited about it. It's going to be a foster care film with about a child with autism in foster care.
Interesting.
It's going to be I promise, award-winning because of how we have it put together. I'm pretty excited. It's going to be based here in Las Vegas. And I'm going to, as of right now, the working title is Found. Found.
I love that.
So-
Well, you know, I've shared with you before that I have a vision to open a resource training living center for young adults aging out of foster care to help them foster their intended future, to focus on who they were intended to be, their divine created purpose right away instead of what's happened to them, and get them to train dogs so they have reciprocal love and they have responsibility right away. So they can help get them focused.
And we didn't talk about this. We probably don't have time, but
Yeah.
I have my land where this all originated as
Yes.
well, Brisco town, and it's a therapeutic land.
Yes.
And the area of my land is yours because that's part of my land too.
Yes.
So I meet people along the way that are in each one of my areas of my land, and you're one of them. I don't know if we've talked about that in depth, but you
Yeah,
are.
we need to, and we
Yeah,
will.
yeah.
So if you can open your home, please do get in touch with Trenton Brisco. We're so excited that we do have people in the community that will take these children in, and these children need you. They need good quality people. Not everybody is good quality people, unfortunately. So please, if you're a good quality parent, if you're a good quality person, and you can open your home, please do.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining PJ's Pure Joy podcast, and we will have another episode for you as soon as possible. So stay tuned and enjoy.
Pure joy. Pure joy. Pure joy.